literally the problem with Hollywood. You can sum it up in 2 sentences. And no, it's not wokeness, believe it or not. I know some people may disagree, but there's something worse than wokeness. And it's summed up right here. Ron Perlman not eager to make Hellboy 3, but will do it for the fans. They don't want to make sequels. I mean, you get people, directors, writers. I mean, the new Matrix had the similar problem. They don't want to make it, but the corporations are forcing them. Instead of coming up with something original, they keep making sequels. Name me 5 original movies that came out last year. Go. You can't, can you? And if you can, you need to struggle. It's not off the top of your head, is it? Everything is a sequel. Zero creativity. And there are people who don't want to make the sequels, and then there are other people, like the guy who was made to create the, Thundercats? Thundercats Go? He actively stated that he hated the franchise. He hated Thundercats. So you have 2 people. Either people who legitimately hate the IP that they've been offered, and they want to quote-unquote fix it. So when they make something new, obviously it's not in the heart and soul of the IP. And people feel betrayed. People feel like they wasted their time supporting that. Or you get people who genuinely don't want to make it. Like they like the IP. Like the Wachowski, for example, with The Matrix. They like the IP. But they don't want to make the movie, but they do it anyway because the corporations force them to. And I guess I can see their point, because if you're a Hollywood actor and you would be like, well, I don't want to star in sequels. Well, there's no other movies you can star in. Everything is a sequel. Everything. Zero creativity. I think maybe when I used to grow up, like, there were creative people in Hollywood, and the thing with creativity is that you take a risk. I mean, what if the plot isn't good? What if what they're doing isn't great, right? So you're taking a risk. With the sequel, at least you know that there is a fan base there that you can milk for money. I mean, they're going to see it anyway just because they're curious how it's like. But I think like that's drying up as well. I think people have been burned so many times that it's drying up. Now it's like, oh, well, another sequel. Yay! Nah, who cares? There used to be a time when if I would have heard that they're making like a Diablo TV show, I would have been, oh my god, really? If I were to hear now that Blizzard is making a Diablo TV show, I'd be like, ugh, when is it on Netflix? Ugh! Am I eager to do Hellboy 3? No. I'm 71 years old. How can you cast Hellboy with an actor that's 71 years old? My god. You know, like, here's another thing. This whole thing with acting, it used to be like you need to look the part. But that's another problem. They don't really have new actors that are famous. I mean, they have, but not as many. I mean, when I grew up in the 90s, you had Van Damme, you had Jackie Chan, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Bruce Lee. I mean, you had just so many names. You know, Eddie Murphy. Like, everyone knew about these people worldwide. Now, they need to bring up old actors, which are 71 years old, in order to play in an action movie. Like, I'm not saying that actors who are 71 years old shouldn't get parts. Obviously, they should. But don't you think it would be more appropriate for this guy to be like a mentor, a university professor, the head of a company? You know, something that old people can play and make sense? It doesn't make sense to see this guy jumping off buildings and beating up people, does it? He's 71 years old. So, and by the way, this is a rant because they're making another Indiana Jones movie. Right? Like, Harrison Ford is also old. Like, you can't realistically have an old guy doing things that a young guy is struggling on doing. Reality kicks in. There is something there. It's uncanny valley. So, apparently, he wants to do it for the fans. Like, what fans? Did the Hellboy franchise even have fans? How many of them are there? You don't want to do it for the fans. You want to do it for the corporations. Stop mistaking the two. In other words, he's talking about Guillermo because, yeah, he does like the Hellboy franchise. But Guillermo is one guy. Is he the fans just because he's famous? So if you're reading, I'm not done pounding you to get this fucking thing done. So Del Toro have spoken about the desire to make a third Hellboy movie together in the past. But the movie was never more than a wish done by the two creators. So 2009 Hellboy reboot was released, but it was a critical and box office bomb. Yeah, I mean, dude, just stop it. Okay? Just stop. And look how many important actors it had in it, and it still went the bomb. Like, people are tired. Just make something new. I mean, look, you don't even need Hellboy. Like, if you want to make a movie that's fantasy and it takes place in hell and like the hell creatures are coming over and whatnot, why does it need to be a sequel of something that exists? Make a new IP, make a new franchise. Look, there's this interesting TV show on Netflix done by the Koreans where people are being sentenced to death by an angel and they're told that, hey, you're going to die in 2 days. And after 2 days, there are 3 demons from hell that seem to be unstoppable and they are attacking the person and they're taking them to hell. So now you have like an organized religion that tries to explain that and they take control. And it's very interesting. The movie itself the TV show itself doesn't even have that many special effects. It's not even that costly to produce. But it's interesting. Like, you're curious to see what's going on. People know Hellboy. They know the lore from the comics. You're taking away the magic of discovery whenever you're making a sequel. Like, when you're making something new, there is that magical journey. Like, the first time you watch the first episode from The Matrix, and you don't know what's going on, it's so magical to find out about the machines and the agents. When you watch the first episode from Star Wars, it's magical because you get to know the universe and you see the lightsabers and stuff. Why are you robbing the magic away from people? There is magic when you're creating a movie from the first time. But when you're making a sequel, people know what to expect. They know the lore, they know the universe. Like, it's very difficult to actually appeal to people. Think about the Terminator movie. Like, why was the first Terminator so good? Because no one knew anything about that universe. Like, oh, in the future, they're fighting robots. It's Skynet sent someone. And it's like, oh my god, look, he's so capable at resisting damage and stuff. And then Terminator 2 comes out, and that's also really good because they're using some weird special effects that never were used. And they have like this liquid Terminator, and okay, that's cool. But after that, you know, Terminator 3, 4, 5, I mean, they keep pushing them out, but like, no one gets surprised anymore because the magic is gone. Like, you already know what Skynet is, you already know what it's capable of doing, you already know what Terminators are doing. So, it's very difficult to make a good movie if you keep making sequels. But anyway, right, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.